Hey y'all, this is Timeka, the face behind Heyyy HR, and I know a lot of times we really get confused on what we should do when we've had a bit of a work gap. Maybe we haven't worked in 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and we don't know what to do. But we know we want to work in HR, and now we just can't figure out where we should get started. If you want to know how to start your HR career after a work gap, then definitely keep watching. Now, this video wasn't me alone. I have gotten a lot of questions about this, but this definitely came from a DM I got on LinkedIn. And let me be clear. Y'all, let me be clear. I get so many comments, so many emails, so many DMs on LinkedIn, so many DMs on IG, that I really sit down sometimes and I intentionally sit there and respond to them at 5 a.m. or midnight or on a Saturday, and I just go ham and just comment. I work a full-time job, so it gets difficult to just respond as soon as you send me a message. So this particular person, she was so lucky. So lucky. But Jamie actually sent me a DM maybe the day before I was checking messages, or the day of that morning, and I checked them that afternoon. So I was able to get her a good and quick response. We've done some exchanges in DMs before, so it was actually a comfortable space for me. And one of her questions was, can you do a video on how I can start my HR career after a work gap? And so thank you so much, Jamie, for the suggestion. If any of you have suggestions, just hit them in my DMs. When I get to them, then I promise you I'm going to crank out the videos. Jamie, let me know if I got to this one fast enough. But the absolute first thing that you want to do when you've had this pause in your career and you are trying to take your career to HR specifically and you want to get started, is that you absolutely should focus on starting and growing your network. I get it. You like, Timeka, I've been home. I've been chilling. I've been around people. I don't know people. I don't know where to go. I don't even know where to go have drinks. I don't even know where the happy hour is. It's okay, because I'm about to tell you, because there's several places you can go to start and grow your network. The first place is personal connections. We always talk to these neighbors about the cookout, the kids, the new car, the new baby, and we forget to talk about work. We don't talk about work. We just don't. Don't forget that you can always ask your neighbors, hey, where you working? What work you do? You know if your HR department is hiring, or you know anybody I can talk to? Y'all, it works. It's worked for me. Not only your neighbors, but maybe your church members, maybe past jobs. You can go on LinkedIn and find those old co-workers. Maybe that's your home girl. Y'all still text or call every once in a while. Reach out and see what's going on in the HR space and if there's an opportunity that you can get, because this helps you get a leg up. These people are familiar with you. You become in their repetition. You are not exposing yourself to a brand new person. So that gives you extra leverage to grow your network and to get a higher success. You can also use hashtags on LinkedIn. So there are tons of hashtags that you can use. And I'm just going to put a little blurb of them up here. These are hashtags that you would specifically use mainly in IG and LinkedIn. I think that you probably can use them on Facebook and Pinterest too, but I haven't tested it so much. I think you can just use just the words, not necessarily a hashtag, on YouTube. But you can try the hashtags too, because YouTube generates hashtags off of AI. You can use hashtags like back to work, return to work, whatever. You use these hashtags. Instead of searching for a name, you search these hashtags. Now you get every post that uses that hashtag. And so that would really cater you down to someone who's returning to the work field. If you've been in the military, there's certain ones you can use for that. If you're you have a disability, there's some ones you can use for that. If you're a military spouse, there's some that you can use for that. And those posts will mainly be companies that are looking for those people. They've created a special initiatives to find specifically people in this area, and they're more open to the fact that you might have either a career gap or a skill gap. And so you definitely should start using hashtags specifically on LinkedIn and definitely on IG. You will find more on LinkedIn than you will on IG. Make sure to go online and connect with HR groups. There are tons of HR groups that you can connect with on LinkedIn. There are tons that you can connect with on Facebook. Make sure that you go ahead and connect. And so I'll put a little blurb here that shows you the different ones so that you can join those groups, because those groups are more relaxed and you can make it clear. I've been out of work for a while, but this is really what I want to do and this is why I want to do it. And it becomes more of not only just growing your network or starting your network, but it really becomes a place where you can get a quicker response or a better response or better action from what you're doing. You got a chance of starting your career quicker. And then make sure that you're attending your local and state SHRM meetings, events, conferences, whatever it is. A lot of times they're like, the local ones will do like monthly meetings, your state ones will do like annual conferences. You want to join those places because you can just start talking. You can find an HR professional that has a kid, and maybe y'all start talking about the kids, and then you can say how you want to start your career, and now that can turn into a job opportunity for you. So make sure to just start and grow your network. Your network is so powerful. It is the most unused tool, but the most helpful tool in your career. So these are just a few ways that you can just start growing on that network. Now, I've done a dedicated video all about networking and what networking looks like, because I think we think that networking is always going out to lunch with somebody and sharing business cards. It's just not really that anymore. And so I'll put the link to that video too to help you out with that networking. Now, the second thing that you need to do is you need to update that resume. So many times we go back, I almost feel like I can hear you saying, I know, Timeka, I know I need to update my resume. Listen, it's easy, child. I have done so many live resume reviews. So there's an entire playlist what I used to cut on YouTube Live and like review resumes. You can definitely hit that playlist. There's a lot of cues that I've given other people that you can use. It's almost the same for almost everybody. Y'all got the same. I'm not gonna say y'all. We have a lot of the same issues. The next thing is that I have a resume playlist. So I'll put the resume playlist there too, because I've done several videos on how to get that resume right. And you can absolutely use the Level Up Your Career ebook, because in that ebook I not only tell you what your resume should look like and give you anatomy of your resume and the cover letter and what your thank you note should look like and how you should negotiate your job offers when you get it, but I have several different resources that also includes different tools you can use to create your resume. We dive into Word and now our resume look like everybody else one, and it's not standing out, it's not helping us. So there are different tools that you can use to say, okay, I want to create my resume in this and not Word to make your resume stand out. Amazing template. Use it to your advantage so that you stand out in the applicant tracking system and to recruiters and hiring managers. Now, when you're updating this resume, you not only want to make it look amazing and do all the tips that I've shared all the time, but you want to make sure that when you get to those bullet points, you're showing those transferable skills. So many times we'll list skills and we'll be like, but I have transferable skills, but then we make it sound like it's in another position, a job position that's not HR. And some hiring managers, some recruiters can't see that transferable skills. And for the ones that can see it, they wonder if you can see how to connect the dots. So you have to make sure to kind of do the legwork and make that transfer, those bullet points, show those transferable skills, how you've used them, what results you've got from them over time. And then another thing that you absolutely want to do is you want to make sure that you have others review your resume. I highly suggest having HR professionals review your resume. So reach out to some folks in LinkedIn, like you can DM them and say, hey, I'm trying to see if you have any other opportunities. This is my resume. I'm really looking for a career in HR. Don't highlight the fact that you've been on this work gap. Ain't nobody need to know that. Let them notice it. Some people won't notice it really. And then say, and if you don't have any opportunities, can you do me a favor and just tell me your personal opinion about my resume? If you don't do that, then what you absolutely can do is click the link down below, because I'll review your resume and I don't just give you quick feedback. I give you catered feedback. I help you change those transferable skills into HR lingo. I tell you which jobs you really can apply to and that you can fit the position for and that you really should champion for and that you can easily get. I not only do that, but I also go through, and if you need more than one resume, I may say, hey, I don't suggest you doing one resume. I think you need to create this resume and that resume, and I'll give you tips for that as well and guide you on how to create those. So the resume reviews are amazing because I'm shocked at the client reviews or the testimonials that people give me. Like, I get amazed, like, what? I did that? So you can definitely get the same thing as well. I'll put the link for that down below. Now, if you're like, Timeka, I hear you about this, but I got the kids now and the husband be wanting to eat. Plumbing went out in the house. The contractor just came by to fix the electricity. Like, we got 50 things going on. I ain't got no time to write no resume. I get it. That's why we have resume writers. But I'm going to tell you hands down, don't y'all go out there and just get any regular resume writer. The best way, especially for someone that's had a career gap or they're starting their career, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to find an HR professional who's also a resume writer, because they know how to change that lingo. So many resume writers will just make it they make these things like essays, child. You would think you about to publish this inside a journal somewhere, some scientific journal. And I'm like, y'all doing too much. This don't even sound like HR to me. You just using a whole bunch of big words. And then the bad thing about it is you become insecure about your resume because you don't know how to speak to your resume. So it really messes you up in interviews. So that resume might get you an interview, but now I ain't getting you the job because they're going to be like, she ain't write this. She don't even know what this means. I just had to ask her what this means. So you want to find a resume writer who is an HR professional specifically. I'm in several different resume writing groups, and it alarms me at the questions people will ask about HR when they're writing resumes. That's because they never worked in HR. Now, there are a ton of people you can go to, but there's only one person I'm ever going to suggest to you if you're trying to start your career in HR and you're trying to get your resume right, and that's going to be Cassie. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link down to Cassie's LinkedIn as well as her IG, and I'm going to just plop her picture here real quick so that you guys can see this amazing girl that gives so much free knowledge on LinkedIn and on IG. I mean, like, I'm inspired to keep up the way she does, and she loves doing these videos. Y'all know I'm a big person of like short form videos. I mainly do sit downs and long form videos, but Cassie has helped several of my clients really get that resume right. She also helps with LinkedIn profiles too. So definitely check her out. If you're not excited about using Cassie, just make sure that your resume writer is an HR professional. Now, the last thing you want to do when you've had a career gap and you haven't been working for a while is that you want to make sure that you're being strategic. You're being strategic in your job search. You're being strategic in your networking. You're being strategic in your career approach. You want to use strategy. Don't do the same shit over and over. I want you to think about how you can pivot here. Make sure to analyze your actions and see where there could have been successes. Where were there misses? Where did you really do really well and you should repeat this action again? You want to make sure that you are applying strategically.
Timeka, I hear you, child, but break that down for me. What does that mean?
I got you, sis. What that means is you want to learn and read company overviews. So when you are out here applying to a company, don't just look at what they got in that little blurb at the beginning of the job description. Go look at their website, filter through it. Go look at their Glassdoor. Go look at their LinkedIn page. Like, make sure you're comfortable with what they're doing, their mission, their vision, their values. Make sure you see if it looks like a warm and happy place. Do you see people that look like you? Do you see lingo that makes sense to you? Does it look like it's too techy? Does it look like it's too focused on one thing or another that really doesn't attract you or that does attract you? So definitely research these companies. Now, when you go ahead and you see a new position and you're interested in this position, one thing that you want to do is go to LinkedIn, find that company, look for their recruiters. You can even just do like a hashtag or a search for that company name. Find people that work there. The people that work in HR, reach out to them in LinkedIn. Let them know you just applied. Let them know this is your resume. Let them know you're eager to start working. Do not highlight that you just come from a career gap. It's just natural that we want to automatically say, well, I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've been a military spouse. I've been on sabbatical. I went to this country to live with my family. I had a sick family member. But there's so much discrimination that you kind of open yourself to. And over the last 11 years that I've been working in HR, I've seen people discriminate like crazy on things like that. It's unfortunate. I don't like it. I hate it. We're in America. You would think that that's not happening, but it does. And guess what? You really don't own anybody that explanation. That's not speaking to your skills. That's not speaking to why you're the best fit for this job. So you really want to stay away from giving this elaborate reason or even just a simple one as to why you had this work gap. Don't bring attention to it. I can't tell you how often people don't even realize that there's a work gap there. So like, don't bring attention to that work gap. That's literally your insecurity. Most times no one even knows. No one's really paying attention, or a lot of times I'll say. So they're looking for those skills. You want to keep it focused there. Now, if someone asks you about your work gap, you're more than welcome to say, hey, I was out because of this. And then say, during that time that I was off, these are the things I did that related to work. I mean, and I wouldn't even say it like that, but I would say during that time that I was off, I self-taught myself how to work in Excel better. I taught myself how to make better presentations. I taught myself how to get better research on employment laws. I signed up for this seminar. I attended this event. Like, keep it focused on the work and not the fact that you were out taking care of your kids and now they're no longer school age, so you can go back to work, People get jealous of that stuff. I have seen discrimination regardless of race, regardless of gender, so often, where people are like, well, I want to get the job to somebody that really needs it. I mean, if she can be a stay-at-home mom for 3 years, then she doesn't really need to work. Oh, if they're in the military, they're going to be gone in 3 years. You want to stay away from those biases and keep a focus on your skills. I can hear you guys now where you're like, but Timeka, that's discrimination. That's wrong. Why would they do that against military people? Listen, the federal government does it against civilians. When you apply for a job, if you don't have a military connection, you don't get as many points to be able to get that opportunity and be able to get even an interview. So like, it happens to us, right? I know you're like, well, the federal government's paying them back for really giving their lives away. They pay them back in a lot of other ways too. So should we, or is it right that we're paying back by saying, you're not qualified for this position, but I'm going to hire you over a civilian who's more than qualified? Now, listen, I ain't here to debate that. I already did several videos about it. I'll link it down in there about my experience in government, HR, and you guys can just have a field day in the comments because y'all get in a little tussle over these. And I ain't trying to be in no tussle. I'm just trying to help the folks that got to work at. So listen, do not bring any attention to that at all. If this is your first time watching a Heyyy HR video, then I am begging and pleading with you, do me a favor. If you've made it this far, at least hit the like button. But if you already know in your mind that you're going to watch another video right after this one, please hit the subscribe button. For those of you who are returning, listen, I feel like this video might have been for you too. I feel like I helped some of you guys. If I did, or even if you're like, Timeka, I understood this was helpful, whatever, please do me a huge favor and put a purple heart in the comments. I just want to see how many of you guys are returning. At the end of the day, I cannot wait to see you all on the next video.